90% of online businesses fail within the first 120 days. 4 months, did you know that? Lack of market research, lack of a clear business strategy, focusing on the wrong stuff in the beginning, like designing a website nobody will ever visit, spending too much money on fancy tech. And yes, I'm talking to you, camera too. As founder and CEO, I have first-hand experience with the reasons why things go south. If you want to do business for more than just 4 months, you need to be strategic from day one. It's been a full year now since I started, so I'm going to give you the exact blueprint, the framework I use to take my businesses from scratch to profit. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If we're just meeting, I'm Tobias Hens, former IT department manager and a business owner for more than 12 months now. Starting an online business comes with a huge potential for failure. I think we can definitely agree on that. Even if those numbers you find online might be a bit exaggerated. Believe me when I say though that I made all the classic mistakes. I spent months rewriting text on my website and obsessing weeks over which camera to buy. And even on how many social media channels to post. So I got exactly what you would expect, zero cash in my bank account. Today I follow a framework to go from scratch to profit with every new venture I start. The process is designed to get results fast and sustainably. So the business can not only survive the first 120 days, but thrive in the long run. Before we talk about the framework, let's look at doing it the wrong way first though. You know, the biggest reason why a new business fails isn't lack of effort. It's because that effort is pointed in the wrong direction. It's playing business instead of building a business. And there's a saying, rowing harder doesn't help if the boat is headed in the wrong direction in the first place. And research consistently shows the number one reason startups fail is they build something nobody wants. There's simply no market need for it. The second reason why things go south is running out of cash. It's plain and simple. If you have the wrong focus, chances are you pay for it with your time. And since time is money, you actually pay for it with whatever budget you have available. Now, the question is, how long can you afford to just wing it without a strategy? How much money do you have to play around instead of getting serious? Lack of focus can be as simple as copying others without a clear strategy. You know, you see someone on Instagram making a killing selling mugs, so you rush over to Canva to design your own line of merch. But you don't see the years they spend building trust, that understanding of their audience, or the unique value they provide. You've only copied the surface, really, not the substance. For that, we would have to go deeper and look at all the moving pieces of a business. And there are usually 6 key areas or domains that we need to figure out if we want to build a sustainable business from day one. Obsessing over non-essentials early, like designing a logo for weeks or rewriting every sentence on your website 10 times, is a recipe for disaster. Spending thousands of dollars on camera gear before you even make your first video is a really bad idea. This is how you burn through your budget before you even have the chance to get serious. And the same goes for trying to do everything at once. Do you really need to be on YouTube, have a blog, have a Facebook page, have a TikTok channel or Instagram? Or is that a surefire way of spreading yourself too thin? That's not the path to profit, that's the freeway to failure. Being strategic from day one means putting that perfection aside and gaining momentum that leads in the right direction. So step 1 is clarifying the purpose of the business. Is it purely to make loads of cash, or is it an engine to bring value to the marketplace? Those are really two extremes on a spectrum. And the reality for most of us is we want a good mix of both of them, right? We want to create value and get paid for it. So if you want a sustainable business that makes it past the 120-day mark, you need to stay away from the extreme ends of the spectrum, even though it's hip today to polarize. And your second job as a business operator isn't to think about what you want to sell. People don't buy your products, they buy solutions to their problems. They buy a feeling, actually. So identifying a problem is really important. The more painful, the better. Also, you want to narrow things down by taking into account your skills and your passion. So for example, don't just say, I'm passionate about fitness. That's way too broad. Find a specific problem. New moms in their mid-30s who want to get back into shape but can't find the time to go to the gym. Now, that's a solvable problem for a very defined and clear audience. Your business idea should live at this intersection of your skills, your passion, and what people actually pay for. And that's sometimes referred to as the 3 Ps: professional skills, a passion, and a problem. If you're looking for problems, where do you find them? Well, go to the places where your ideal customer hangs out and where they complain. Like, seriously, the Reddit forums, Facebook groups, even Amazon review sections. What are they asking for? What are their big frustrations? And your goal is then to find an underserved need. Clarity, not complexity, is what counts next when we package this all up into a first business strategy. And clarity here means a 1-page PDF, not a 50-page binder. Who exactly are you helping? What problem are you solving for them? How are you going to reach these people? How will you interact with them? How will you make money in the process? What are the most important things you must do? And what essential assets do you need for that? Who can help you along the way, and what are your major expenses going to be? Answering these questions should take you a few hours and not weeks. And it gives you a strategic roadmap, stripping the business down to its essentials. Also, that's not a static document, it's a living thing you'll update as you move forward. Next, we go from theory to a product. So far, we've done a lot of thinking, right? Now it's time to build something. An MVP, to be specific, a minimum viable product. So not the perfect all-in-one solution, but the just good enough product. An MVP is the simplest, most basic version of your offer that solves one core problem for your first few customers. So what does it look like in the real world? If you're selling a service like coaching, your MVP isn't a fancy course platform. It's a simple PDF outlining your program and a payment link. And you deliver the coaching over Zoom. If you're selling an ebook, your MVP isn't the 200-page version, it's a 10-page guide that solves one critical piece of the puzzle. The goal of the MVP is not to make you millions on day one. The goal is to get validated learning. Will people actually pay for it? Now, the MVP answers these questions with real data and not just your guessing. I know this can feel like a lot, especially when you're starting out in the beginning. So to make this easier for you, I offer free half-hour consulting calls where you and I can talk about using this framework from day one and how you can go from scratch to profit strategically without wasting money and time. The calls are completely free for a limited time, so book your slot right away through the link in the description below. Experiment next. This is where rubber meets the road. Ideas are nice on paper. A website and even your product are completely worthless though, as long as no one pays for it. That first transaction you get is the most important moment in the life of your business. It's validation. Your goal here isn't to launch big. Your goal is to get your first 10, 15 paying customers as quickly and quietly as possible. Forget about the paid ads, forget about complex sales funnel. This is really direct, manual, and unscalable work. So how do you do it then? Well, email 20 people in your network who you think might have this problem right now. Post in 3 to 4 relevant Facebook groups, in communities, not to sell, but to offer your MVP where the conversation is already happening. Directly message 10 people on LinkedIn or Instagram who fit your ideal customer profile and ask for the honest feedback on your offer. So the goal here is twofold. First, you want to make some money. But second, you want to get a feedback from real and paying customers. What did they love? What did they hate? What was missing? These first 10 to 15 customers aren't your revenue source. They're your R&D team. Listen to what they have to say. And the last step then is scaling. That's when you finally build that perfect website, because now you know what to say on it. This is where you can go and buy the fancy camera or start running ads because you know who to target and what actually converts. This is the time then to build systems like email automation, content schedules, so you can handle growth without becoming the bottleneck yourself. Scaling is just taking what's already validated and building a machine around it. You reinvest your profits into what's working. You optimize, you expand your product line. Everybody wants to jump to this phase right away on day one, and that's why so many people and so many businesses fail. Follow the framework so you make sure that when you finally hit the gas, you're driving in the right direction, and especially the direction that doesn't end on a cliff. So let's bring it all home. Most people fail because they follow the wrong playbook. They focus on the shallow stuff, the logos, the websites, and trying to be everywhere all at once. They build in a bubble based on nothing but their own assumptions. And then they get surprised when nobody buys their stuff. I really know, I've been there. The strategic framework to profit is the exact opposite. It's a disciplined and logical process. Start with purpose, figure out your 3 Ps, create a money-making strategy, build your MVP, experiment and iterate so that you can scale at the end of the day and scale sustainably. The framework focuses on what actually matters, validation and profit. It's a system designed to lower your risk, protect your cash, and build real momentum from day one. It's not about being perfect, it's about being profitable. And this is how you join the businesses that actually thrive in the long run. So if you're ready to stop playing business and start building a profitable one that survives the first 120 days, I invite you again to book a free half-hour consulting call where you and I can talk about the framework and how you can use it in your business from day one. If you want to fast-track your journey, click the link in the description below and book your appointment today. Now, I'm sure you have more questions about all of this, so watch the next video where I talk about the 4 stages of any online business that you should know about. I see you there.